She's like, no, for real, Farah. Like, there was a flight that actually went missing for several years and it came back.
How did it come back?
And I was like, what the fuck?
Hey guys, welcome to another episode from your podcast, Unwrapped Lollipops. This is episode 2, season 2 in 2022, y'all. So I'm very happy you guys are tuning in with us. This is Hatun here with my co-host, Farah. Farah, say hi.
Hi, guys. That was a lot of twos.
Right? How are you, Farah?
I am right now currently filming this episode with my calf muscle, my right calf, wrapped up in a bandage because I don't know what the fuck I did to it.
Feel better, Farah?
I hope so, because since I told you yesterday as well that it's fucked.
Yeah, you were telling me yesterday.
And I can't walk, but I still can't walk. So, yeah.
That's concerning, Farah. Please go to a doctor.
What do I tell them? Like, how does a doctor... Actually, I really want to know about this if somebody knows. Like, is there a doctor for muscles?
I think so, Farah.
So what do they do to your muscles?
I don't know. We're both engineers. We don't know about this stuff.
Like, I get it if someone is a... what do you call them? The bone doctors.
Chiropractor?
Chiropractors are the ones that, like, crack your stuff.
Crack you.
Yeah.
Crack you like a cracker.
They crack your bones and like your joints and stuff. But there's people who are bone doctors. My best friend growing up, her father used to be one. I forgot the name. But are there doctors for like muscles? Like, how do they check what's wrong with your muscles? How do you do a muscle x-ray?
Farah, like, I think they check the tissue in your muscles. You might have damaged the tissue in the muscles, and then that's why it hurts. That's what I did to my foot when I was doing martial arts, remember?
What happened to your foot?
So I didn't break the bones. I didn't break any bones, but according to them, I damaged the soft tissue of the muscle in my foot. And that's why it
Did something
hurt so
fall
much.
on it, or did you fall?
No, but I remember it was the throwing practice in my martial art class. And I was being thrown over 100 times easy until please, you guys, not to mistake the fact that I'm not good in martial arts with this, but I'm good. And my break falls are clean and I'm good. I protect everything in me, but there is no possible way to protect your feet. It has to get slapped on the floor every time you get thrown. So I got thrown way too many times and my foot slapped the floor, the dojo mats, way too many times until I damaged the tissue in it.
So that makes sense because you were like smacking your foot into something and that's hurting your foot. Yeah. But I was totally fine, Hatun. I had leg day, skipped one day, I didn't go to the gym. The next day I go again, it's upper body. There's no legs involved. I just do like basic cardio. I'm completely fine. I get out of the gym, I'm fine. I do shopping, I'm fine. And I get into the car, and when I reach home and I get out of the car, for some reason, my right leg, the calf is like, doesn't want to just, I don't know. I think, you know what, maybe because I didn't cool down and I didn't do any sort of stretching.
Stretches? Yeah. Maybe. But even with my foot, it took me so long to feel the pain. Like, I came back from the gym, I walked home. I walked from the gym to my house, and we went by and we got Bujum again. And I think Bujum is in every episode. It's so funny.
You need to get Bujum.
We got Bujum. I really do. We got Bujum, and then we went home. I had my Bujum. I took a shower. I did my room, everything. And then when I was going to sleep around like 3 a.m., that's when my foot started hurting. Yeah. No, Farah, go to the doctor. I'm telling you. If it hurts for more than a day, then go to the doctor.
Yeah, if tomorrow it still keeps hurting, I think I'm going to have to go to someone.
I remember my friends were doing medicine. So every time I get like such an injury or something I'm not so sure about, I'll just text them. And then they'll be like, well, if you still felt pain in 24 hours, you should definitely go see the doctor. They always said that.
But that's like a very pussy move.
Farah, please. Please.
Okay, Hatun.
That's offensive.
Fuck this leg. But
That's offensive, Farah. I'm telling
For
you.
what reason? Do you see Desi people like going to the doctors? We never go to the doctor. We are doctors.
But that's what we're here to invalidate. All these stupid ideas, right? You've been in pain for days. Go see the doctor. Just check everything is okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's a little bigger, Hatun, than compared to the other.
Farah, that's not normal. That's not normal. Please, right now, we're ending this episode. Bye-bye, you guys. Go to Dr. Farah.
Okay, Hatun, it's not that serious. Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. But you are going to the doctor. So...
Oh, wait. You didn't watch Manifest, right?
No, but I promised it is going to be... we just finished the show I was telling you about yesterday. So let's talk about this. So I recommended the show that's called The Woman Across the Street from the Woman in the Window. I do not think that's the correct name, but it's very long and it's very confusing. So it's something like that. It's a new show on Netflix. It's very, very, very nice. And I was telling you, Farah, yesterday too, you should watch it. And then I said I will watch Manifest after it because I've been wanted to watch it. But Farah, I finished the show. I'm not gonna spoil it.
No spoilers because I didn't start it.
No spoilers. No spoilers. Everyone should watch it. I hate spoilers. I'm against that shit. I'm against it strongly. Anyways, so I'm just saying the ending is just nothing you will ever think. Like, you think you're smart enough to predict the ending, but you don't.
I probably am.
No, Farah, I'm telling. I said that to you. I didn't say that to people. I said that you think you're smart enough, Farah, but no.
So you said it specifically to me because I actually think that I'm smart enough to know the end. Because usually in most movies / actually all movies or shows, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Farah, I know that, and I believe you. And also sometimes I predict. Yeah, I believe you because I know you say the truth.
Thank you.
But then I'm telling you, this time you're not gonna. Like, it's a twist after a twist, especially like the last episode, the last everything. It's a twist after twist after twist after twist after twist. It just does not. It keeps twisting to the very last.
I just watched the trailer and I saw the actress is the same one, Eleanor from The Good Place, and I really love her.
Yeah, I love her, and Farah, she is amazing. I really recommend the show. Farah, let you finish it and then we'll talk about it. Okay. I really need to talk about this.
For now, I feel like every single episode we are going to talk about Manifest, and might as well we should just tag it this time.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching like probably one of the last episodes for the show, and my sister was like
again,
sitting next
no
to
spoilers.
Me. No spoilers. It's not. There's no spoilers for the show. It's not like it's gonna ruin it for you.
Achha.
So my sister was sitting next to me, and just typical sister behavior that they don't watch the show, but when they're sitting next to you and you're watching the show, they just like listen to it. Yeah, and they ask questions.
Yeah,
and
it's so annoying.
I'm also the kind of person, like, if someone is not watching the show, I will tell them the whole story unwantedly.
Yeah. Okay. No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, just watch it. Don't ask me.
I know she's not going to watch it. That's the thing.
Achha.
So okay. I kind of told her the story about like how the flight, blah, 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 missing, whatever. And she goes like, there was actually a flight that went missing for several years.
What?
Yeah. She's like, no, for real, Farah. Like, there was a flight that actually went missing for several years and it came back.
How did it come back?
And I was like, what the fuck?
Start from the beginning. What's happening there? I need to know.
So I was like, what the fuck? How is that possible? She goes like, yeah, it was called Pan Am, like flight 914.
Okay.
And I'm like,
which airlines?
Pan Am. That was the airlines.
Is that American? What is it?
That's American. That's an American airline.
Achha. Okay.
So I am like, so Hatun, imagine you're watching a show and it's a show which is like creepy as fuck, or like something that is so out of the place, and like how you've never heard it before and never happens. And then someone goes like, yeah, this thing happened exactly, like this thing exists. And
I swear to God, I hate Farah. Sometimes I just hate flying. Like, I know I need to get places, and that's why I fly. But oh dear God, do I hate flying because I'm terrified of heights. Like, I legit, Farah, every time I fly, I text the people I love saying, I love you. Or if I don't, I regret it when I'm in the air. And
I do
like,
say prayers. I do say prayers.
Oh, I say everything. I like read the whole Quran. But like, I always regret not telling the people I love that I love them because I feel like I am gonna die. Like, that's it, khalas for me.
But you do need to realize that planes are safer than cars.
Farah, they're not safe.
But they really are not safe. Really, like the probability of having a plane crash is, it's actually there's like actual facts on it. I don't know the exact number, but it's like a lot less. But it's like minuscule compared to driving. You have a much higher chance of dying while you're driving compared to flying. And I believe it, Hatun. We're engineers,
I don't
okay?
drive.
We believe it.
I don't drive.
No, even if you don't drive, you are in a car.
I'm a passenger, yeah.
Yeah. So, and also I heard this somewhere that nowadays the planes are so good that it's like almost impossible for them to crash. Because even if the engines fail, the pilot is still able to land the plane.
Okay, that's good.
But if the fucking tires don't come out, then you're fucked.
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Okay, so we were talking about the flight. Yeah, right? Flight. So I, being my curious self, I was like, let's do full research on this. I need to know about this flight. Yeah. So I Googled it. I was like, tell me what's the flight. And she's like, it's Pan Am flight something. And so I just Googled Pan Am flight that disappeared but then came back. So apparently the Pan Am flight 914, it flew from New York to Miami in July 1955.
1955, okay.
Yeah. From New York to Miami. Not like, it's not even an international flight, it's just the same country. So 57 passengers and I think crew members as well. So it flew, which is, I think there was like a 4-hour flight, something like that. And apparently it just disappeared. It never landed. What the fuck? They tried to find it. There was no remains for it. There was nothing. Like, they could not track it down. There was nothing. It just literally vanished into thin air.
Yeah.
But then, after 37 years...
37?
Yeah. In 1992, Venezuela, they were... You know the place where they sit down and they look at, like, the airplanes and they have a radar and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, at the airport. Tower. Yeah, the tower where they sit and talk to them. So
monitoring tower, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's called, I don't know. So they were sitting there and they couldn't see a plane like on the radar, right? Because you know the round thing that keeps going round and there's like dots on it which shows the airplanes?
Yeah.
So
the radar, Farah.
The radar, yeah. So they couldn't see any airplane on the radar. So that means there's nothing in the air right now. There's no air traffic.
Yeah.
So they could not see anything, but the guys sitting there, with their own eyes, they could see an airplane.
What the fuck?
That was approaching to land at the airport.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, and when they looked at it, they were like, this doesn't even look like an airplane that is from today's date. This is like so old. It's like the, what do you call it? The propeller ones that they don't make it anymore.
Yeah.
And so the plane landed on May 22nd, 1992.
That's not so far.
And they asked them, and they like when the plane was about to land, they connected with them and they were like, where are you coming from? And like, what the hell? Like, who are you people? So he told the guy, the pilot, he told them the flight number and they realized it's this flight that has been like disappeared for like 37 years. And so the plane landed and everyone like just came like around the plane. People just stood there, all the like the airport people, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
So they're all standing there and they were waiting for them to like come out. So the guy, the pilot, he opened like a door or something and he asked them like what date it is and what year it is. And they told them.
Yeah.
They told the pilot and apparently like he had a calendar in his hand and he dropped it by mistake, something like that. And they could see like people inside the aircraft and they were all dressed in like old clothes and they were they seemed very taken aback.
But did they age?
I don't know.
Like, isn't the pilot like 37 years older?
He should be.
Right. That does not make sense. It's terrifying. What the fuck?
So I saw that.
Like, that happened?
Yeah, I genuinely believe that happened. But there were not really a lot of articles about it. And then I read more articles on it. And apparently, it's fake.
Farah, you scared the shit out of me. I was like, what is happening there?
But Hadoon, also at the same time, you do realize how like America is like hiding a lot of shit. You do believe
that's what I thought. At first, I thought that you were going to say the plane disappeared for a couple of months or a year, you know? And I was like, well, maybe the people on the plane, you know, had like a mission and then this disappeared for a reason. And America was like, well, we cannot track them for a reason, right? Because they do not want to track them and they want to hide them. So they just went somewhere else to do some shit. And people were like, oh, they disappeared. And then they came back after like months or years or whatever, right? But then you were like 37 years. Like, what the fuck?
So I like read a bunch of articles on it, and there's actually Hadoon, okay, fuck this, even if it's fake, but there's quite a lot of flights that have, you know, the Malaysian airline flight that just never,
the Malaysian airline one, yeah,
was never found anywhere. And it's really hard to like lose shit in this day and age because everybody has a phone.
But well, maybe it just like landed in the ocean, you know, and no one knows.
But they're still able to find it. They have a way to find it.
Okay, Farah, I have other questions, but not about this topic.
Wait, I'm going to ask you something.
Ask me something, Farah.
I love this. I'm going to ask you something. Actually, I'm going to have to send you something right now. I'll send you a picture and you're going to look at it. And for anybody who isn't looking at, who is obviously listening to the podcast right now, we'll probably make a post on our feed.
Okay, if you're watching this on Instagram, then there will be a picture where we're talking right now.
And if you're watching on YouTube, we'll insert a picture in the middle.
Yeah, but if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and all, just
so there's two shapes.
I got it.
Okay, one of them is Kiki and one of them is Bouba. So you need to tell me which one is Kiki and which one's Bouba.
Farah, clearly, Bouba is the right one and Kiki is the left one.
Okay.
Clearly to me.
Yeah? Clearly, yeah. Okay. So, Hadoon, you are the same as 95% of people.
I'm not surprised.
So, Kiki and Bouba are made-up names.
Yeah, no shit.
They're made-up names and these are made-up shapes. Like somebody sat down and they scrolled both of these shapes and people sat down and they made both of these names, Kiki and Bouba, and they showed it to like a bunch of people, and 95% of people, like literally all people who look at it, regardless of like what language they speak, they say that the pointy one is Kiki and the rounded one is Bouba.
It just makes sense, Farah.
Yeah, so it's actually an experiment which was first done by Wolfgang, I think that's his name, Wolfgang, in the 1920s. And it was done with Spanish speakers, people who didn't speak English.
Yeah.
So even at that time, when he showed these shapes and he told these names to the people, everyone said that Kiki is this one and Bouba is that one.
That's insane. That was done in the 1920s.
Yeah, and it's regardless of age. It's regardless of what language you speak. You can literally go. They did these tests across the globe. Like they went to people who didn't speak English. They speak, for example, like Portuguese, people who spoke Hindi, people who spoke Japanese, Chinese, anything. Doesn't matter. You can show it to a child. You can show it to your nephew.
Wild, Farah.
They literally went to like kids, like schools, like kindergarten, and they showed it to little kids, and they drew kids who didn't even know how to spell yet.
Yeah.
And they showed them the shapes and they were like, which one's Kiki and which one's Bouba? And everyone said the same thing.
Crazy!
And when I saw this for the first time, I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is that?
Did you answer as well? What was your answer?
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, this one's Kiki and this one's Bouba. It's
clearly, Farah, clearly.
And you can watch interviews for people who were asked this on the street, and they explain it. They're like, yeah, that looks like a Kiki because it's like sounds pointed. And that's a
Yeah, it
Bouba,
sounds
like,
pointy.
because it's round.
Yeah. It's cute and bubbly.
So
And then the other
apparently,
one is
Hatun,
like sharp.
yeah, apparently the thing is that it's not that simple, language and the way we've named stuff. It's not that simple.
How?
Like, have you ever thought about, like, when we look at things, who named those things, and like why we name things a certain way?
I really do. Like, who named walkie-talkie and why?
So apparently, we associate like sound,
yeah,
with a feeling,
with
shapes
feeling.
And a feeling. It gives us a feeling.
I 100% believe in that.
So when you think about it, like Bouba, it's like a ball, round.
Yeah.
So when we look at Bouba, when we look at something round, we associate it with a sound that's round. For example, when you see, like, can you imagine like a bowling ball rolling around? It sounds smooth.
Yeah.
Like round. But imagine something pointy, like rolling around and falling. It sounds sharp.
Yeah.
So we associate sounds like that. We associate sounds to shapes.
That is
and
bananas.
Then there's more to it.
I'm very invested
Which
in
I
this.
was so surprised when I looked at it. So apparently that when you look at movies or shows, this is a whole science. When we look at them, like, for example, you can think about, for example, Pooh, the cartoon.
Who?
Pooh. Winnie the Pooh.
Which one? Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. So when you look at the cartoon,
say his name. Say his full name, like Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. So when you look at him, he's round.
Yeah.
Any nice character in any movie or in any show is gonna be round. Aww. Especially in kids stuff, it's gonna be round. They're always round. They're
always round. Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig is round. He's a bunch of circles, actually.
He's really silly. I don't like Peppa Pig, but it feels haram.
But he's round. And anything that's evil or you're trying to emit like sharpness
is pointy.
Is triangles.
Oh,
always.
But Disney characters. I'm thinking about the Sleeping Beauty. Her like the evil witch is very pointy. Like, she has a very long face. It's pretty much a triangle.
Yeah.
And then she has the horns and stuff.
So, and even in Maleficent, have you seen how her face is and how she has horns and everything's pointy? So they do it on purpose. That's her. So apparently, movie directors and all these producers and people who make like art directions for movies, they do this sort of stuff because this emits an emotional response in viewers. And without that, like, they're not even noticing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, kids, they're looking at something that's round, like Peppa Pig, and they don't even know that because it's round, it's nice to them and it's good.
Yeah, that is insane.
What's the movie, Hatun, where there's this girl and there's stuff like inside her? It's an animation.
I know what you mean. The one about memories and stuff.
Yeah. That girl who has like these 5 things inside her head. Do you know
I forgot.
I don't remember the name of it, but there's like the red one. And then you
can see the emotions, yeah.
Yeah, there's a red one inside her head, and that one's a square.
Oh.
So basically a square, when you see that, and any like character, if the character is a square, it signifies that it's either like it's robust and it's strong and it's boring. Yeah, really. And I've noticed that across, like, I watched like a couple of movies, and any show that I watched after knowing this, I tried to notice this stuff, and it's actually a thing. They do it on purpose.
Wait, Farah. So does that mean it's been like kind of imprinted in our heads that these shapes represent certain feelings? And then
it's not imprinted in our heads. It's something that these people who do like visual arts, they've realized this over the time, that people have done this sort of research, that shapes emit like an emotional response in us. So they do it so that when we watch stuff without even understanding it. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean that's why we get like a certain vibe from people based on how they look?
Yes.
Like, do you know how like okay, I don't want to come out as offensive here, and I genuinely don't mean it, but you know how we meet like a chubby friend and we always feel like they're very friendly and nice and cute.
We like them.
We like them. I genuinely I would immediately like them. I wouldn't think of them as a threat. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go like immediate threat, like stay away.
Like when we look at a hippo, Hatun, we feel like hippos are sweet and they're nice and they're soft. But apparently a hippo can kill you very quickly.
Yeah, Farah, they're very dangerous, but they're like, we think they're absolutely cute. And then Farah, think about all these skinny, pointy bitches we meet. And we're like, danger.
We don't like them.
We don't like them. Makes sense.
And uncles. Have you noticed a lot of uncles? They're square. So we think they're boring and they're old. Or they're angry because it also signifies anger.
I cannot. Uncles, she said.
So in movies, they do this stuff. Mickey Mouse is 3 circles.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so they realized this a while ago, that shapes make us feel sort of like certain things, and they make us feel in a certain way. So they figured that out. And they did research on people, like they saw the brain activities in people that when they see a certain shape, it like, what do you call it? It triggers like a certain part of their brain. Yeah. So they realize that. And you're going to notice it a lot more now that when you're watching a movie, they try to do this thing where during a certain scene, if they're trying to show that a character is like trapped in their life or like having a lot of problems, they put a frame in a frame. Like they put the character in a frame, either in a doorway or in a window, or there's bars. Like they do it. So we feel it more. It's like cinematic. They're trying to make us feel like all of this.
That is insane. I'm going to notice that from now on.
You're going to notice it a lot more now.
Yeah. Thank you, Farah, for this.
Okay.
And that's why we have good content. I'm just saying, if after this you guys don't say we have good content, then you guys are just some pointy bitches. I have to say it, Farah.
Oh, even in Ratatouille.
Oh, yeah.
The critic, he's like super pointy, right?
He's super pointy.
And the moment he eats the thing that he makes, the ratatouille, the moment he eats it, he goes, first of all, he sees like bubbles and shit, and like the ratatouille is in a circle, so it looks nice. And the moment he eats it, all of a sudden he becomes a child, and he's like soft and round, and he has big eyes.
Oh my God.
So we see him good.
Even the chef in Ratatouille is very round. Yep. And we don't know him much, but we just love him.
And do you realize that I think he was the dad?
He was the dad, yeah.
So he wasn't a good dad, obviously, because the guy didn't know that's my dad.
I'm very sorry, you guys, if we spoiled Ratatouille for you just now.
Hatun, I think everybody has seen. And if you haven't seen Ratatouille, then go yourself on a triangle.
We're very sorry, you guys. We're very sorry.
When you think about it, the chef guy is kind of an asshole, isn't he?
He did have like an illegal son, but he wrote him everything, to be fair.
Yeah, but he never was in his life. What the fuck?
That doesn't make up for anything, to be fair. But still.
Yeah, it doesn't make up for it. So, like,
and he was very famous.
If maybe he was a triangle, we would have. If he was like pointy and skinny and triangular, we would have not liked him. But because he was round, we loved him.
No, I think he didn't know he has a son. No. The ghost of him that was talking to the rat didn't know that he had a son. Maybe, okay, we're going in details there. No, we don't need to go into Ratatouille.
We need to move out of this.
Farah, I know that is again so random, but going back to flights disappearing and all, I just remembered. Farah, didn't Amelia Earhart also disappear?
Who is that?
Farah, Amelia Earhart, the first woman to ever fly over the Pacific, I think.
So she just disappeared?
No, so that was like ages ago. I don't think even that was even the 50s. I think that was before that.
But women disappearing and women not being credited for stuff is obvious. I read this somewhere.
She's crazy famous.
Yeah,
and
I know.
People just believe that, she ran out of fuel and then, died halfway.
Or maybe they just caught her and they didn't want her to be famous, and they didn't want her, or maybe she knew something.
Maybe Farah, that's
probably
possible. But
you know what I've heard, like recently I saw like a bunch of articles which about like why do we never hear like historically, like why do we never hear that something was invented or like discovered by a woman? Most of the time, like any discovery or like achievements in science, in anything, we're always accounting that for men. Like we think that men, they originated everything, they did everything, right? Because apparently women did like discover a lot of stuff, and women were scientists and geniuses, but they were not allowed to, like, you know, up to like, I don't know what date exactly, but women were not allowed to study, and like they weren't allowed to go to uni. Even in the West.
100%, Farah. Yeah.
So because they were not allowed to do that, it was sort of like illegal for women to be scientists, or women to, you know, like have a say or like be academic in any sort of way. It was just not a thing for them. So imagine if they discovered something. Imagine if a woman, she discovered like gravity, for example.
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to publish it. She's going to have to publish it with a man's name because it's not allowed for her. They would arrest her. Actually, I would recommend everyone to listen to BBC podcast. It's called Dead to Me, or You're Dead to Me. And there was one episode, it was about the history of science, which was really, really good. They were discussing how, so I recommend everyone to listen to the episode, and I'm actually going to tell you which episode. One of them was the history of science, and I loved it. And they were like giving full credit to how the Muslim world kind of gave a lot to science, and how a lot of stuff originated from like Sanskrit and
so much like algebra. We did that. The whole algebra. Chemistry, we did that. Medicine, we did that.
And apparently during those times, because there were like wars between Christians and like Muslims, all of that stuff was still going on. But knowledge and science was something that if someone from the other side, like your enemy's side, was inventing or discovering something, you just accept it. You don't ignore it. You believe it to be true. Which I found so weird. Like, if you don't like someone, just don't accept anything from them.
Basically. But like Farah, also, for the record, Muslim world did give Muslim women the credits whenever they invented or did something.
But you know, a lot of time they didn't.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of the times, a lot of women were not... I forgot what it was, but there was like really important stuff, even like in like science, in terms of like medicine. Women did a lot of stuff in it. But so there was this one episode where they were talking about Mary Wollstonecraft. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But they were talking about her, and they were discussing how it was really hard for women to like study, or women to like be independent, because it was... no one was willing, because you know the thing is, in science, who's gonna invest in all of their experiments and their testing and stuff? Someone needs to invest, and most of the times it used to be the governments, as in like the kings and queens. They would invest in these people who were like mad scientists. They would invest in their experiments. They would give them money. But no one, women being not accepted, how are they gonna do all of this? Like they were barely making ends meet. You know, there was this thing that in the 1800s and stuff, especially during the war times, like in World War I and II, a lot of times, because women were not allowed to be like doctors, in the medieval times especially, like women were not allowed to be doctors because, you know, they can just be housewives. So what they would do is they would practice, and they would actually know medicine. They would know how to practice. They would know how to cure people. But they couldn't actually like open up a clinic or like a hospital or work somewhere. So what people would do is, instead of going to these men who were like degreed, like qualified doctors, they would go to these women for cheaper.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But how sad, you know?
Farah, I'm not even gonna get into that. It's a whole thing about women oppression. And when guys now come to you and be like, oh, so you're a feminist? You know? They don't understand
no fucking
that
shit.
this
Like,
is not.
yes, I am.
Yeah, they don't understand that this is not something I decided to be because, let's say, I'm getting paid lower than you for doing the more even than you. It's a whole thing. Like when we read about this history of women just being oppressed, when we see our own mothers and maybe grandmothers who were oppressed in some way or another, it gets us very
and the subliminal
angry.
messaging, Hatun. Us even now, me, for example, I know a lot of stuff, and like I know that there's no difference between a man and a woman and they can both do whatever they want. But there's so much subliminal messaging that it's almost impossible to erase that stuff. You still feel that way. I catch myself saying things that I'm like, that if this can never be said about a guy.
Exactly.
And I would never judge a guy based on that, but I'm judging a girl based on that. Just because
it's been years and years
and years,
thousands of years.
It's instinctive now. It's like built into us now. I don't understand.
And it's sad,
and you know, just a lot of these women, they're like, oh, we're not, especially celebrities. I hate it when they say we're not feminists. We feel like we just want equal rights. We're not feminists. What do you mean? What does that mean? Why is it so hard for you to say feminist? Just because a bunch of men don't like the word and they don't like women who say that they're feminists, so you're trying to please them? I really want to ask these men who go like, no, that's not a thing, and like, I don't like girls who say that, you know, they're feminists. Look at your home and go and like look at your mother and see how she's being treated by your father. Like, I feel like at least 90% of women, either physically or mentally or any sort of way, they are getting oppressed by their husbands. There's some sort of domestic violence and torture happening. And I'm pretty sure your mother is either getting beaten up by your dad, or he's mentally abusing her. Or if it's not her dad, if it's not your dad, then it's her dad.
Yeah, her brothers.
Who didn't give her the shit that she deserved. So I don't know where these men are coming from, because they see it in their own household.
Yeah. Farah, I was talking to my friend, it was a guy, and he was saying, I'm feminist. And I'm like, sure. But you know what's being for a man to be like, to believe in true equality between men and women? You know, Farah, how it's a thing for men for women. So if, let's say you got married, Farah, and then if your husband got a job somewhere else, you're going to move with him, right? Even if you have a job, right?
Exactly,
You're going to leave your job and move with your husband. Let's say because he's getting paid more, and it makes sense, right? So you, the kids, and your husband move to whatever country, right? Now, will he do the same for you?
Absolutely, he wouldn't.
If you got a better paying job, let's say, Farah, now you're assigned to be the Pakistani ambassador or the ambassador of your country in, I don't know, Puerto Rico. I don't know, Farah, right?
Okay. Let's just put it not like a higher paying job, but just like my dream job, right?
Your dream job, Farah, even a higher paying job. Would your husband be okay with being like, well, she's getting paid more, it makes sense to our family, and I should leave my job and move with my wife, risking that he might not get a job and take care of the kids for you? Would he?
Probably, yeah. If I choose him myself.
I mean, yeah, Farah, but like, would your husband,
but
would the
average
man,
he definitely would not.
Okay, let's emphasis on Desi man or an Arab man.
Definitely not. They wouldn't.
Definitely
it's not even about that. That's like a very next level thing. But I feel like even before that, and a lot of times I hear this, that people say, especially here in Pakistan, there was this thing called Aurat March, and women were saying Mera jism meri marzi, which literally translate to my body my choice.
Yeah.
I don't understand how someone can make this into something wrong. How is this wrong in any context?
I heard it. I sat with Pakistani men and they were telling me that this is not correct. And I was like, how is that not correct? They're literally just asking to have a choice in their bodies.
To and they're own like, their bodies,
no.
like...
Yeah. And they were like, no, but the way you're doing it is not correct. What way?
What is the way of doing? I don't understand like why it's so offensive to them.
It was so, I met Farah, and these are educated men from good families, okay? They were just not happy with it. They were like, I will never let my sister go out and protest with them.
This word, I would never
even though their sisters were asking to go and be like, I support that. And I cannot, Farah. Even their moms are like, no.
Even my mom thinks Aurat March is not a thing. And it shouldn't be a thing. And it's disgusting. That's what she thinks.
They think women just want to walk in the streets naked. That's what they think it's about. I
heard a lot of people saying, they're like, oh, if Aurat March, that there's no need for there to be like Aurat March. Women don't need anything because we live in Islamic Republic of Pakistan and that gives women the rights in Islam. Give me the rights in Islam. I would be so happy. Like, give me all the rights that I have been given. I don't know how people come up with this shit. They're like, all these women that are in the march and they're protesting, they say, oh, they were dancing, oh, they were dressed like this, they were saying all of this shit, they were talking about their periods, they were talking about this, blah, blah, blah.
God forbid they talk about their periods.
And I'm like, women have been oppressed for years. Women have been, especially here, everything is taboo. Talking about your periods is taboo. Talking about wanting to get married to someone is taboo. Talking about wanting to studying is taboo. Talking about wanting a job, being independent, asking like for your property from your parents is taboo, frowned upon. Everything is taboo. Wanting to dress in non-cultural clothes is taboo. So after all of this shit that women are going through, when they finally have a time to talk, let them do stupid shit if they want.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm like appreciating or liking what they're doing. If they're dancing on the streets and the men looking, but it's their choice.
But it's their body, their choice. That's exactly literally what they're doing.
Let them. What is your problem? I don't get it. And one, this scholar here, Hatun, he said the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life.
What is it?
He said, quoting this quote, Mera jism meri marzi, he's like, women are saying this, so they're saying that if it's their body, it's their choice. So if a man wants to rape a woman, it's his body, so it's his choice.
What?
This ideology, imagine this is how a fucking scholar thinks. A man who's teaching religion.
But that's not his body, not his choice.
Exactly. That is not his body.
He's trespassing on another person.
How does that? I don't know, Hatun. I don't know. Genuinely. Anyone who says that they're not in favor of Aurat March, I literally don't understand. I understand if it's older people, like older generation, if they don't get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like if they don't understand what it's about and they're not understanding the message, I understand. And I'm not going to stand in front of them and be like, you're dumb, or I don't I'm not for you and I don't support you for saying that. And I'm like pissed at you. I would just, it's like a subtle way of trying to make them understand how it works. Fuck me.
And Farah, it's not even just in Pakistan. Like I see here, okay, just the average girl who doesn't get a choice when it comes to anything. It's not even just her body, Farah. It's literally just anything. I know girls who left their positions at work because their family just didn't want to let them. They just go like, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to do that. Then, Farah, if you can't trust your own family when it comes to these stuff about your like future decisions.
Literally,
you can't. So, but then the exact same families are gonna choose your partner. And they're gonna force it on you because it's not your choice. And then you're gonna get married, and then you're not gonna be happy in your marriage, and then you're gonna have kids, and then you're not gonna be happy with the kids. And then you're gonna produce dysfunctional individuals to the society.
Because it's not your choice. A lot of times, I've heard this here as well. A lot of times people say, for example, like, if I have a cousin, right? He got married and he had a baby. A year later, he had another baby. And women are gonna say, oh, why didn't she like stop him? Or why didn't she say, I don't want a child right now because that's too soon. That's too much for her. Like, how do we think that's it? This is a woman's choice?
It's not.
How? What is she gonna do? She's gonna go behind his back and go and get contraception behind his back?
No.
How is that gonna work? You can't just hide this shit from someone.
Farah, it's just...
And women say this kind of stuff. And they've been through it. Older women who have children. And especially a girl who just got married. And obviously, talking about sex is taboo, right?
100%.
Women should just not even know what it is.
Farah, how could you even say sex?
Like, how could I even say it? So we expect women, not even women, these young girls, to not even know about what sex is. They don't know what contraception is. They get them married and the guy is like fucking her the first day. How do we expect her to know anything? She will get pregnant.
Farah, that is so true. And, I'm just going to say it. Sex education is just not a thing for us.
Literally, it's not a thing. And sex education, it's not even a thing for guys. I feel bad for them too.
It's just not a thing. Farah, the only thing any of us get, and mainly guys, is porn.
Yeah. And that even isn't for girls.
And that is a whole thing. Like, I'm not even
and then there's this other thing that we're told as women, that if you want to be a good wife, and that in Islam you're not able to say no to your husband.
Yeah, basically.
What the fuck does that mean? You're not able to say no.
You're just can't say no, Farah. Yeah.
You're just a cow.
You're just a cow, Farah.
You just say moo. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow.
Moo. Moo.
It's like, what is this music video for Doja Cat? Oh God, Hatun.
Farah, it's a whole thing. And you know what? We should talk about like individual tiny subtopics of it in each episode, because it's so important. If I could make a sex education podcast, I would. But they will kill me.
Oh, I don't know. I think we will eventually. We'll do an episode. We'll do a private session for girls.
Yes, we'll do Zoom sessions. We'll get props. I'm gonna get killed, Farah. I'm taking this out. I cannot.
Like, let's move aside from this very heavy topic that is obviously clearly pissing us both off.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something else. Okay, guys. I hope you guys like story times as much as us, and we have a whole ass story for you guys, which Hatun does. I don't have it. She has it, and she's gonna read it out to me, and I'm gonna listen with you guys.
No, Farah, but I was gonna say that me and Farah were a part of the story way later on when like shit got fucked up. We're always there when shit gets fucked up, and we were there. So the story is 100% true. Like, we were there. Yeah. And our very, very good friend sent it to us. Thank you so much. I don't understand why she's not in the podcast yet, but we're gonna bring her here soon. So you guys, it's a story.
You guys are not ready for this.
You're not ready, believe me. And I don't know how, but we do get you the most spicy stories that ever there. But we do. Anyway, so let's start. So the girl says, so this is the story of one of my ex relationships that I think deserves to be a part of the show, under the topic of men ain't shit. So I was 17 when I met him, and he was 22 to 23. He was the one that approached me. The first time he approached me, I totally ignored him, and he tried again a couple of months later, at which point I decided to talk to him and get to know him. He lived abroad at the time, so we only ever spoke on the phone and messages. Initially, it was all sweet. Of course, there were red flags that I decided to ignore, like him counting my following list, asking me if I followed any new men and why I was following men in general. Really big red flags, but I was quite young and I didn't think much of it. We dated for around 2.5 years, and that was long distance because he studied abroad. Most of it was great. I still look back on it as my first ever real relationship, brackets, whatever that might even mean. And he was everything I wanted at that time. Hot, has his shit together, and despite the occasional fight, he loved me, I think. However, things started getting messy eventually. I would get messages from random numbers saying, leave him, he's married, and whatnot. How could he be married? He spoke to me all the time, FaceTimed whenever I wanted, met me whenever I asked. I couldn't bring myself to believe these things, and so I brushed them aside. We eventually broke up because he became very manipulative and controlling, had note of all my passwords, and even my Pinterest account. Pinterest, you guys. What does she even have on her Pinterest?
Who's approaching her on Pinterest?
On Pinterest. Whoever wants to approach me. Whoever wants to approach me on Pinterest, you're more than welcome, because I can imagine you're a very peaceful person. On Pinterest.
Artsy guy, like a nice and artsy guy.
Yeah. I wanted to get back with him several times, but something or the other always stopped me. I was done. I had moved on. Fast forward 3 years, I'm in a happy relationship with the man of my dreams, and I get a message from someone saying, hi, Farah, we have to give the ex a name. What do you suggest?
I don't know. What's her actual name? I don't know what do we name him?
Okay, we're gonna name him Saad.
Okay, Saad.
So we're naming him Saad. So I get a message from someone, hi, I'm Saad's wife. This was the actual wife of the ex-boyfriend, which is Saad, I had when I was 17. And there were pictures, proof of their wedding, honeymoon, and whatnot. I felt betrayed. 3 years later, I found that the man I loved at one point of my life and thought loved me back was actually married. I don't know the logistics of it. He said he wasn't living with her and it was a political marriage, but what the fuck?
Yeah,
his wife started... What the fuck? I remember Farah when she told us that, I was like... Because she would speak about Saad a lot, you know, just saying that it was one of her relationships and whatnot. And then...
Yeah, we knew the guy. We saw his pictures, you know.
Yeah. And then she came one day and she was like, so Saad's wife just texted me, and we were like, what the fuck? So it gets more fucked up, you guys. Wait for it. His wife started harassing me now and tells me to meet her. I think the fuck not. She tried to approach me through many channels like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn even.
Pinterest. Why not?
No, for her. Why not? But she actually texted her on LinkedIn. She fully believed
Hatun, I swear to God, next time if I'm not supposed to talk to someone, I'm gonna talk to them on Pinterest.
But no, I'm gonna go LinkedIn. I go LinkedIn, you go Pinterest.
Okay.
And she fully believed that I was still after her man. I tried speaking to her nicely. I told her I had no idea that even after meeting his family members, no one ever told me he was married or committed to someone else. Farah.
This is actually very messed up.
That is so messed up.
What were they trying to do? Like, were they on his side? They were telling him, yeah, go get some. Son.
I don't know. Beta, abas jao, maze karo.
Do whatever you want, but just like, you're married to the one that we want.
That is...
literally what happened.
But our DC families just want to control who their sons marry. But then, you know, let them do whatever they want.
That's true. I have several examples in my own family. I don't know what she wanted from her. Like, why do you want to meet her? And where were you a couple of years ago when they were actually together?
Farah, she actually kept harassing her. I know the story might sound short now, but it went on for a year almost or more. And our friend was just like, bro, Leave me alone.
And honestly, what was she gonna do if she met her? What if our friend actually did want to still be with the guy, or if she was actually still with the guy? Did she think that she's gonna leave him because of her?
No,
clearly not.
I don't understand what she wanted. So she says, I felt like the hurt was back too. I was angry. I felt disgusted and hurt because something that meant something to me didn't mean a thing anymore. His wife eventually, after many threats and me threatening her that I will report her to cybercrime, stopped messaging me. But it still makes me wonder sometimes as to what I did wrong. How did I not see it coming? If it meant anything at all to him. And Farah, that's why we're talking about how women were oppressed, and then they always think it's their fault. Even if the guy was married and hid that from her, and he had a relationship with her for almost 2 years, she still thought, what did I do wrong?
That's just how women think. That's just how they think. You know this fucked up guy, Amr Liaquat here.
Who?
Amr Liaquat, he's this, I don't know what to call him even. Is he an actor? Is he a scholar? I don't know. He's just this famous guy. I think I've been seeing
memes around him.
He keeps getting married. Like, for some reason, that guy just has so much that women can't stop marrying him. So he's pretty old, Hatun. He's a fucking old piece of shit. But
yeah,
he left his first wife and he got married to this super young girl. And he had his interviews and he was like all over the news. And after a while, there's rumors that he's getting divorced from her because apparently there was a third wife who said she's pregnant with his baby. And she kept like coming on to like all news channels and like giving interviews and saying he's an asshole. And she disappeared. And then the second wife divorced him. And then recently he just decided to marry a 19-year-old girl.
What?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he's like in his 50s. So he marries this 19-year-old girl. And she comes on this TV show. And they're doing an interview for both of them. And they ask them like a couple of questions. And she goes like, and they ask her, they're like, what if he marries someone else? And she's like, it's not really my right to ask him to not get married to someone. I'm just gonna be very nice to him and love him a lot, because if I don't love him, obviously he's gonna go somewhere.
What? Farah, that is like...
What does that even mean?
That's like brainwashed shit.
Yeah, that's like saying if I don't feed my dog, he'll just go somewhere to eat. That's how...
Farah, that is literally what she's saying. That is literally what she's saying.
Yeah, if you're not gonna satisfy your man by doing everything in this world for him and cleaning his fucking underwear, then he's gonna find someone else to do it for him. Because that's all a woman's job is. Yeah, that's an entire job of a woman. That's just how women feel. They're like, there must be something wrong with us.
Yeah.
I have a cousin, Hatun. Let's just say it. I have a cousin, and he's cheating on his wife. So I know someone, and I wouldn't say this if I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know eyewitnesses.
Okay.
So this asshole got married, has 2 kids now. So he has been cheating on his wife since day one. Probably.
Oh my God.
He has a girlfriend, everybody knows about it, and the girlfriend probably knows that he has a kid, maybe she doesn't, but the wife knows now.
What did she do?
That he's cheating. And I'm pretty sure she had a fight with him and she went to her parents' house because she doesn't want to be with someone.
That's good. It's good she's
openly
rational.
Cheating on her, right?
She's rational. Okay, good, yeah.
But she's not rational, Hatun. She came back because obviously her parents were like, maybe like, you know, they probably said something. No, just love him. Give him enough love. Keep loving him. And one day, he will love you. When all the girls of the fucking country leave him and you're the last one left, he will love you. So, yeah, guys, that is the end of the episode. This was a whole mix and very unpredictable, actually, because I didn't think we were going to talk about all of this stuff.
Same.
So I hope you enjoyed it.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you listened to the entire episode and you're happy with it, I guess.
And you hate Mr. Bean.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're listening again, I'm going to say that if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please go to our Instagram and look at the picture that we post for the test, because you can still do the test if you want. You can still answer the question. And if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, wherever you are, please follow us. Please like this video and please share it with your friends. Please
subscribe and share. Yeah, give us the love, the good stuff.
Yep. So that's the end of the episode, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.